Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome to our latest webcast that we're bringing you from Travel Weekly. And I'm delighted to welcome someone who's on their first webcast with us. It's Edward Frampton-Fell, who is the Managing Director of SPL Villas. And Ed, there's a reason why this is your first one, because you've just started selling to the trade, which we are very excited about. But first of all, perhaps you can just tell us a little bit about the company.
Yeah, sure. Hello, Lucy. Hello, everyone that's watching along. So, yeah, as Lucy says, I'm Ed. I'm Managing Director of SPL Villas. SPL Villas are a relatively new villa holiday company. We relaunched in January last year, which a lot of people thought was absolutely insane to launch a new holiday business during the pandemic, but we went ahead with it anyway. So we are a private family-owned business owned by Peter and Sandra Linnell, who have a real flair for villa holidays. They've been villa holiday advocates for the last 20 odd years with their family, and they wanted to launch a villa holiday business and to put their dreams into reality effectively. So they invited me to join their team a couple of years, well, 18 months or so ago. And from there, we set about launching the business. So we started with a very small team. There's only 3 or 4 of us that are full-timers in the team. And we started to look at everything Peter and Sandra had done and then try to put a bit more of a travel industry expertise on it. So we have a team of 4 people that have between us 50 years cumulative experience within the travel industry, many years of which has been in the villa holiday industry as well at some of the larger companies that are more well known. We also have invested in our brand, so we rebranded to SPL Villas and launched the website in January last year, taking what was 85 villas in the Canaries to then 300 villas across the Mediterranean in January, but now we're up to over 900 villas on our website. So we have all of the popular tourist destinations across the Mediterranean, from areas like the Canaries, the Balearics, mainland Spain, Greece, Cyprus, Croatia, Portugal, Italy.
Gosh.
Turkey, yeah, so we've really covered all the bases there, and we're still growing. So our aim is to get to over 2,000 villas by the end of this year. So lots of work to be done there. And as you mentioned, yeah, we've launched to the trade in the last month or so. So it's been a soft launch and quite a quiet launch up until this point. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to talk about it today, as we look to try and impress our agent friends with what we've got to offer.
Okay, good. All right. Well, let's come on to that. But before we move on, you said you had 3 or 4 people and you've got this experience in villas. Just tell us a little bit about you, Ed, and your background then, because you've obviously been brought in as MD to bring that expertise.
Sure, that's right. Thank you, Lucy. So I've been in travel, gosh, nearly 20 years now. Can't believe it's been that long. Cutting my teeth at various companies when I was younger in Kent, such as Saga Holidays, and then larger companies such as in the villa holiday industry, such as James Villas, before moving on to become a villa holiday consultant. Whilst I was being a consultant, I met with a team at Edge Retreats, which are a very high-end luxury villa holiday company, where I became deputy CEO of that company up until lockdown hit, really, when personally I have a young son, and when I was traveling into London every day from my home in Kent and started to realise that I wasn't actually connecting with him as much as I should do, and when lockdown hit, that really sort of hit that home. And then an opportunity came that I couldn't turn down, which was to lead SPL Villas. So that was great. Now, the team that we have built here, I'm very fortunate to have. There is, sadly, with the pandemic, there were a lot of people being made redundant from holiday industry companies, as we know. But that sort of loss was SPL's gain, because I managed to pick up some very talented individuals. So,
and are you office based, or are people working remotely, or how's it working?
We're hybrid, so we were set up fully remote during the lockdown time. So I think there's some people who hadn't even met each other halfway through our existence. But yeah, we're now hybrid. So we've got 3 days in the office and 2 days from home, which the team requested, basically. I think it's great for us to be in an office together, trying to, really push a small company forward. But I recognise that people have their own personal lives and need to do things from home now and again. So yeah, 2 days from home, 3 in the office.
Sounds ideal. And you mentioned at Edge Retreats it was very high end. What's the what is it at SPL Villas? Have you got a range, or is it a particular sort of category of villa?
Yeah, it is. It's a range. We look at them. If you was a star rating, we'd say everything on our website is 4 to 5 star, with a sort of luxury blend on top of that. But don't get misconceived that you can't get a bargain with us. We have a lot of villas where you can get for under £1,000 a week. Basically, we've got a special collection which shows that. So at some point during the year, be able to get a villa for under £1,000. But we range upwards to 10 to 15,000 is our highest value villa for a week's booking, but our average value is about 4,000 at the moment, so that's kind of where we're pitching. We're seeing a lot of people book those larger villas right now, so multi-generational families wanting to go away and get all the family together and celebrate us being free from COVID and free from lockdown and things like that.
Well, I wanted to ask you about how trading was in the villa market. Obviously, when we were in the pandemic, we were allowed to travel a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, we're still in it. We're just sort of coming out of it, aren't we? But
yeah,
there was definitely a bit of a trend towards people not wanting to be in hotels and to be more private and to have their own space. So is that something that you have seen, and is that continuing, or are you seeing it sort of drop away a bit now?
Yeah, I'm hopeful that it continues. We've seen people who perhaps do a villa holiday for the very first time in their lives and never done it before. Definitely that multi-generational feel to it. I think people being locked up, not being able to travel overseas for 2 years, they wanted to get everyone together again, and they hadn't done it for so long, or maybe groups of friends traveling with their kids as well. So the larger villas are definitely very popular. But it's still quite unpredictable, I would say. Yes, it's much better than it was last year, and last year's numbers for us weren't particularly exciting for a brand new brand during COVID lockdown and pandemic. But this year we've seen an uplift, definitely, and we're really happy with how things are progressing.
And are there certain destinations that are more popular than others, or?
Yeah, definitely. So Greece and Croatia seem to be quite on trend for us at the moment. I think with them dropping the COVID restrictions and stuff like that in the last week or so, I think that's made a big difference.
Yeah,
we're really strong in those areas as well. That's probably our 2 strongest destinations. So I'm quite fortunate that goes hand in hand. But yeah, we're also seeing a last minute market as well, more than I ever would have experienced in my villa holiday industry experience up until now. Yeah, so I mean, we're having people call up for departing in a week's time, which is so last minute for the villa market, I would say. So yes, that's something we're just trying to contend with. But I don't mind when people want to travel, as long as they want to call us.
Exactly, we'll take anything.
Yeah.
And do you just sell villa only, Ed, or do you add the flights on if people want to have a package, or are you not into?
No, we're villa only for the time being.
Right.
Plans afoot in the future maybe to look at that, but with everything that was going on at flights during the pandemic, we decided to steer clear of that for the time being.
Okay, all right, good. And you mentioned, I'm going to come on to the trade because that's obviously very important. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten that. But you mentioned that you were looking to add more, to get to this 2,000 villas. Would that be more in the destinations you're already in, or are you looking at going even further afield, or do you think really that Med is going to be, I guess it's going to be your stronghold? But yeah,
so we're looking to make sure we've got some areas that are our strongholds. So last year when we launched with the pandemic, those red lists, everybody remember the fun that they were. We decided to spread our bets a little bit and make sure we had enough destinations so that we could at least advertise something that was on a green list. So that's why we had so much variety. But now we're looking to sort of really hone in on destinations where we're strong. So yeah, we're not going to necessarily increase too many destinations. I think we're just going to get more and more villa availability in the areas that we've got. Although there is one destination that is going to be coming on in the next couple of months, which is Florida. So we're going to be adding that as our first non-Med destination. So that's a bit of an exclusive. We haven't got it ready yet. It's coming on behind the scenes in the next month or so, perhaps.
Which is really exciting and a big villa destination, absolutely. And so all of Florida, or mainly focusing around iDrive and Orlando and things like that?
Yeah, so Disney's obviously the big draw, right? But I'm a big Florida advocate, and have spent quite a bit of time over there, and I love like the Keys and the Gulf Coast as well. So I haven't allowed our supply manager to get away with loading Florida without adding those on as well. So they're going to be coming into play as well.
Okay, really exciting. All right. So then distribution wise, obviously direct sell it initially. But you've decided to use the trade as a distribution channel. So just tell us a little bit what you've put in place. I know you've obviously got a special, bit on your website. You've got a new trade sales manager. So tell us all the things you've put in place.
Yeah, so we launched without trade because we didn't think we were ready to handle working with the trade back in January last year. We only had 300 villas, which I didn't think was a wide enough selection to work with the trade. And to be honest with you, we just didn't have the resource to deal with trade training and things like that.
Yeah.
So over the course of the year, we've done some development to the site and to the portfolio to increase that product range to make it more appealing to trade partners. And we've also built a development tool on our site. So there's a trade portal. So anyone who's using that can just log in and access it as if they were using it with their own systems and things like that, which makes it very straightforward to sell if they've got a customer in the shop particularly. We also hired a trade partnership manager who joined us yesterday. So Anne Clays has joined us and she's got a great trade partnership background with Eurocamp. So she comes on board to really be the face of the trade. So she'll be getting out and distributing SPL Villas to as many travel agents as she possibly can. So we're really excited about that. With the trade as well, so we're going to be offering a generous commission on every single villa, no matter the value of it. The amount that's paid out to travel agents will be the same. So if you're booking a villa that's 500 quid, you'll get the same percentage of commission as if you were booking one that was 20,000 basically. So some earnings to be made there. We're going to be offering Love to Shop and Amazon vouchers on every single booking that's made. We are going to be doing a villa competition as well. So anyone who enters or makes a booking with us will be entered into a prize draw to win a villa. Multiple bookings will count for multiple entries. So
they can win a villa holiday to some with that. Is that got to be taken this year or is that for 2023 or what?
We'll work it out around the agent who wins basically. So whatever their requirements are, we'll make that fit. So it can be this year, next year, no matter how they want to do it effectively.
I mean, that's exciting, isn't it? I mean, that's great. Okay.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. We've got some really good relationships with suppliers overseas in our ground team. So they're really keen to get on board with the trade and see us promote their villas. So they want to do as much as they can to help us and to obviously help the trade. And we've also got this new training program that we've devised, a module that Anne will be taking out to help the team, to help the travel agents with all of their training. We think it's quite straightforward, so hopefully they will think so too, but we'll try our best to help as much as possible. The other thing we have is we have a dedicated personal service here. So we have a sort of let us help you find your perfect villa holiday function, where if you're not quite sure where you want to go or what you're looking for, you can contact one of our team who will personally help you and tailor make your villa holiday for you. We're still of a size where we can do that. And we celebrate every inquiry, celebrate every booking still at this moment in time, and we know everyone personally, so we'll extend that to the trade as well. So if they've got a customer who isn't quite sure what they're looking for and the travel agent isn't quite sure either, just get in touch and we'll pick up the phone. You won't have to wait in a long queue or anything like that to speak to us. You'll be straight through and we'll handle it and help you out as much as we possibly can.
What are you going to do when you get loads and loads of bookings? You're going to have more personal support.
Maybe. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we might be
a nice problem to have, I'm sure.
Yeah, I look forward to that.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to ask you, Ed, what you thought SPL Villas USP was, because you've worked at other villa companies, so I guess you've taken your knowledge from there and you're trying to do something different that will make you the most attractive. But perhaps it is that personal service, or maybe there's other things you want to talk about.
Yeah, there's a few things. I think the personal service is a really key point. Book with us, you're not just going to be another number or another booking, you're going to be really looked after. Our very, very first booking last year was someone who had been let down by another villa company and just needed something urgently, and we managed to they was traveling within 2 days when he first spoke to us, and we pulled out all the stops and got him sorted and over the line, and he was delighted, and he sent us this huge bottle of champagne when he got home to say thank you, you saved my bacon basically. And it's that level of service we want to give to every single person, no matter what you're spending 500 quid or 20,000. We want to try and give you that level of service. But we do offer some real good USPs, I think, still, in terms of we offer a free cancellation on COVID related incidents. So if something happens with, I don't know, a lockdown again, or if countries change the mandatory jabs that you need to have, or the vaccination status changes and you can't do anything about it, that's when we will give you a free cancellation within 7 days of your travel. So you've got as much time as possible to go, but if it can't because of reasons out of your control that are COVID related, we'll give free cancellation.
Okay.
We've had to do that on a few occasions, but we've honoured that definitely. The other thing as well is we've got financial protection insurance. So we've bought that. We don't necessarily have to do that as an accommodation only provider,
No.
but we've got a policy now which protects every single customer. So if you're unsure about us as a new brand and you're not sure if we're financially stable, well, if the worst comes to the worst and you book with us and something happens on that front, then you're covered basically. So all your money's secured.
So that's a really good peace of mind, isn't it? Given what people have been through, they do want to work with trusted suppliers now.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, you know, people in the news are reading about travel industry businesses struggling and things like that. So to give peace of mind with your finances, I think is essential really. So that's purely paid for by SPL. So we won't be billing any customers for that either. We've got low deposits as majority of our villas, so you can book with a low deposit. We offer instalment payments as well, so if you don't want to pay everything in one hit, you can break it down across the course of the time that you're waiting to go on your holiday. And we have a small team with over 50 years of experience, so we kind of think we know what we're doing.
You might have to have a bigger team as you if this goes well, Ed.
Well, that's the dream, right?
Yeah.
We've got to start somewhere, and we're starting small, and we're hoping to progress and grow as we can.
Oh, it's great. And you've got a deal already in place with Advantage, haven't you? Are you going to maybe talk about that? And then are you looking to work with more independent agent groups or?
Yeah, that's right. So Advantage were the first consortium that they signed with, and we're really delighted to be a supplier to them. Jane, who works for us, was actually out at the conference just gone in Madeira, so that was fantastic, and had the opportunity to chat to so many different agents and partners and things like that. So that was incredible for us to get some exposure there. But yeah, we're going to be speaking to all of the members from Advantage. So one of Anne's first tasks is to go through that directory and try and get hold of everyone. But we're not going to stop there. We're happy to talk to anyone, so independent agents to whatever. We're going to be trying to get hold of you and have a chat.
Okay, all right, well, hopefully a lot of them will be watching this and they might want to get hold of you, or to get hold of Anne, I guess, in the first instance. So I mean, it sounds great. It looks like you're putting everything in place and you're really looking after agents as well and putting in some great incentives there for them. So we just wish you all the best, Ed. It sounds like, you know, great venture, very brave setting up in COVID. So we wish you all the best.
Thank you, Lucy. That's really kind.
All right. Well, we'll speak to you again soon, hopefully. You can tell us more about it.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay. Bye.